What is going on, Gamecock fans, and welcome back to another Touchdowns to Home Run South Carolina Gamecocks game preview. Today's video is featuring the South Carolina Gamecocks going to Lexington, Kentucky this weekend, 7:30 on SEC Network to go take on the Kentucky Wildcats. Last game of the season. Depends on if there's a bowl game in our future or not. It's tough to say because yes, our record is not good, but this year every team is bowl eligible, and there are a bunch of teams in the Big 12 or Pac 12 that aren't going to be eligible just because I haven't played enough games or whatever. And a bunch of bowls have been canceled. So it's kind of up in the air right now if the Gamecocks are looking at playing a bowl game or not. I'd love us to play a bowl game. Obviously, I want to watch more Gamecocks football, even though our team is really beat up right now. Any chance that we have for another Gamecocks game, I am always there. So let's hope that we make a bowl game this year. But let's get into this Kentucky game. Last game of the regular season, the Gamecocks are 2-7, Kentucky is 3-6. It's going to be a very interesting matchup in Lexington, Kentucky. Now, just before I get into that, guys, just dropped new Carolina merch. Go get yours. I got Williams-Brice Stadium shirts. No place I'd rather be. And I got If I Look Upset, it's because Carolina lost last Saturday. Go do me a favor, support the channel. Get those shirts. They're only $15 right now. I'd rather sell a lot more designs and make a huge profit off of you guys because I take pride in people going out and wearing my designs. So Gamecock fans, definitely check those out. Either hit the link in the description or click that little notification that just popped up. Back to the South Carolina Gamecocks and Kentucky Wildcats. The game starts out, ESPN right now on the match predictor has Kentucky at a 68% chance of winning this game. The spread is 11.5 for Kentucky, and the over-under is 47.5. I think the good thing going into this game for Gamecock fans, if you want to look at this on the bright side, yes, the Gamecocks are looking very, very weak right now, but let's exclude Vanderbilt. The worst team right now in the SEC after Vanderbilt, and maybe us, depends on who's talking, is the Kentucky Wildcats. This team is very, very weak right now on both sides of the ball. I just watched their game against Florida this past weekend. That game was at 12 o'clock on ESPN. I watched that one. Florida was able to win that game. I forget the score, but Florida pretty much blew them out after the first quarter. The first quarter, Kentucky did hold their own, and they did have a lead for a good point. But after that Kadarius Toney punt return, it was all done from there. Kentucky's offense was very, very weak in this game. You let Florida's defense, who has been by far their weak spot of the season, everyone knows that if anything's going to cost Florida a chance at the playoff, or if they want a chance against Alabama in the SEC championship game, that Florida defense is going to need to step up because they've been really weak all year. They forced like 3 turnovers against Kentucky in that game. Terry Wilson was just throwing bad balls right to Florida defenders, and they were able to take them back and just get the ball back in the hands of Kyle Trask and Kyle Pitts, which is something that obviously you do not want to do. I don't know why you'd ever want to get the ball back in their hands because they are 2 of the best players in college football right now. So Kentucky looking very weak. Their defense is a bit of a brighter spot than their offense right now, in my opinion, but both are very weak, much like the Gamecocks right now. Injuries are killing us on both sides of the ball, especially on defense. Defense, we have Inakbari out. We have Ernest Jones out now. We have the opt-outs in J.C. Horn, Israel McQuamu, R.J. Roderick. So we got a lot of new guys getting on the field, which I honestly don't mind. If you're going to put out guys who we need to get that experience because they're going to be playing in the coming years, and they're willing to put 110% of their heart down on the field to go play their hardest, I say this in every video I feel like now, I'd rather 22 guys that are going to go play their hearts out than 22 better players who are just going to go through the motions out there because they think they're the best player. I want a guy who's going to fight for their team and fight to win the game and play for their team instead of playing for themselves. So having guys like that, I don't care if they're 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, 2 stars, walk-ons. If they're willing to put their full heart on the line, put them in. I don't care. I'd much rather watch them. That's no shot. Don't think that that's a shot to JC or Izzy too, or RJ. I respect them. They had to go make their business decision. They had to go support their families and everything. I support it. I know that's been a big topic for Gamecock football right now. Personally, they had to do what they had to do. I'm still going to cheer for them in the NFL. I'm going to be cheering for them on draft night. That's just my opinion. You could feel completely different than I do. But defense is going to be beat up. Offense was beat up a lot last game, but we are getting Shi Smith back, which is going to be absolutely key for this game. He's been playing non-contact in practice so far, and it looks like he's going to be back for Saturday. Luke Doty, I'm guessing, is going to be the starter in this game. after he played last game. He went 18 for 22 last game. Huge improvement with the arm, starting to hit way more passes, which was what I like to see. We all know he's got the ground game. We all know that's his strength and everything. So Luke Doty, same thing I said for the Georgia game. You're going to have to hit some of those deep balls, which he did. We ran a double reverse flea flicker against Georgia last weekend, and we hit a deep ball. If Luke can start hitting those deep balls somewhat consistently, that is going to be very dangerous because you have a guy who can throw the ball downfield and a guy who can run the ball. That is going to help the Gamecocks a ton. Strength on offense. What has been the strength all season? Kevin Harris in the rushing game. He is so close to 1,000 yards. I'd love to see him get to 1,000 yards. He is the leading rusher in the SEC right now. Just use him. Like, Kentucky's defense, we could run all over them. If we just get the ground game going, like you saw this against teams like Ole Miss. Yes, he's not going to run for 5 touchdowns. Probably not in this game. But who's to say he can't put up 150 plus yards? He's shown that he could do that consistently this season. He is a really good running back. So just rely on him, rely on that rushing game in the offensive line because they've been doing really well this year, and just use that to create more passing opportunities because when you get the rush game going, everything else opens up. Everything else opens up. So those are some keys to the game for this one. Hit some deep balls. Same like I said last game against Georgia. Establish the rushing game. It's always winning the turnover battle. I feel like should always be a key to the game because that's always going to help you getting the ball back into your offense's hand more and taking it out of their hands. But just limit the big play opportunities for Kentucky because we know we have weaknesses in our secondary and everything right now. We know we have weaknesses all over the field. Getting pressure on the quarterback is going to be key. I feel like it's a key for every game. Like, these are things that are always key in every single game, but especially for the Gamecocks in this game with a really beat up team, I feel like getting or limiting the amount of big plays that Kentucky has with our beat up secondary is going to be key. Yes, Kentucky's probably going to have 1 or 2 plays, big chunk plays where that go for 20, 30, 40 plus yards, something like that, but just keep those to a minimum and I think we'll be fine. Red zone defense, bend don't break all the time. If we can hold them to field goals rather than touchdowns at some points, especially if our offense is rolling, that is going to help us a lot in this game. I had my score prediction in this game. The over-under is 47.5. I have the over here. I think this game is going to be well over 47.5. I had my score prediction as 35-31 for Carolina. Yes, we're 11-point underdogs, but I just want to go into this game feeling optimistic. It's our last game of the regular season. Mike Bobo this might be his last game as an acting head coach for the Gamecocks. Might be his last game as a coach for the Gamecocks because we don't know what's going to happen with the whole coaching situation. By the way, comment down below Beamer or Napier because it seems like it's coming down to those two right now. I'd love to hear from you guys. A lot of guys who's going to be their last game suiting up in the Garnet and Black if we don't make a bowl game, like Shi Smith, Nick Muse maybe, Sadarius Hutcherson, a ton of guys that are going to be, this might be their last game in the Garnet and Black. So there's reasons to go out there and play hard, and I just want to be optimistic in this game. I don't care what ESPN is saying. I don't care what Kentucky fans are going to say. I don't care what experts are going to say. I'm taking Carolina in this one. 4-point win, 35-31 over Kentucky. It's time to be optimistic going into this last game. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. As always, go Gamecocks. Like the video, comment anything, subscribe, and thank you for watching, and come back next time.